Hello Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome to today's video. In today's video, I am wanting to dive deep into what I call the hidden treasures of your limiting beliefs, because I believe that, behind every fear, there's really a gateway or a doorway to deeper understanding, to, um, you know, the most abundant experience of love, and really the opportunity for you to lift another veil, to remember, meaning put together who you already are, which doesn't really make sense if you're at the beginning of your journey. You may be thinking, oh God, remembering, what does that mean? But it is really, it stems from my core belief that you are whole, complete, and full as you are, and the only thing that is quote unquote standing in your way between your experience of that and where you're at right now is the lifting of veils, and the remembering, the rediscovering, the recognizing of who you already are. So there is nothing quote unquote wrong with you. There's nothing you are missing. It's simply a matter of lifting the veils, and that is why I always want to make sure that when we look at quote unquote limiting beliefs, that we go beyond the curtain, that we go behind the veil, that we see what is hidden underneath. Because even in something as quote unquote horrible as a limiting belief can be, there is a hidden treasure. There's gold hiding there, and it is really for you to see when you are ready to see it. So first of all, let me just quickly tell you a little bit about what a limiting belief is. So a limiting belief is usually, it can be either conscious or unconscious. And when we begin the work, usually it's unconscious, and then we have a moment of revelation or aha, where the veil has been lifted, and all of a sudden what you couldn't see before has become clear. And once you realize what's going on, then you of course want to just dive straight across it, or bust through it, or jump through it, and just or get around it. But unfortunately, that's rarely the case. It's rarely what we are able to do. For me, it's very clear through the work that I do with myself, that I do with my clients and my groups, is that the only way is through. And honestly, once you have that experience, you wouldn't want it any other way, because there is so much wisdom, there is so much knowledge, there is so much gnosis to be had from you moving through those limiting beliefs, you moving through those hindering, whatever is hindering your sight. Once you begin to lift those veils, you have that's where you put back together the pieces. And so a limiting belief is sometimes, usually, like I said, it can be conscious or unconscious, and it's something that is really negatively affecting you. It's holding you back. To give you an example, one of my biggest limiting beliefs were that I couldn't, that what I did had to have a direct result or produce a direct effect. And so something as soft or gentle as love was not something that quote unquote I could market nor sell or produce in any way, shape, or form. And once I realized that that was what was going on, I also knew that in that piece was the key really for me, for my evolution, for my development, for my work moving forward. Because once you realize what is going on, you can then begin to see the reflection. And so that is what I want to encourage you to do, is that when you have a limiting belief, whatever is going on for you, and usually you can say, I can't do this because XYZ, or I am afraid XYZ will happen if I do this. Once you can begin to formulate the what's going on, you can also begin to see the light reflection, because the limiting belief is really one that thrives in the shadows. It's really one that thrives by being hidden, and also therefore keeping you stuck. And I want to say that to me, limiting beliefs are not bad in any way, shape, or form. Usually they're formed at a time where they have been the way it was a protection. Usually it's been a protection mechanism for you. So for example, the softness, the feminine, all of that for me was dangerous territory for me growing up and through my early career. It was not really something that I could use or saw as a value or a value. And then beginning to realize that that was my way, I could then begin to integrate it. And that's really where the word hidden treasure comes in. Because when there is a part of yourself that you are denying or suppressing or ignoring, it actually takes over and begins to rule your life. If you instead can begin to dissolve it, which is, my key crucial piece for any of the work that I do, is that it is through the expansion of love from within that you dissolve any and all fears. And limiting beliefs are really rooted in fear. You may not see it like that. You may just think that you're worried or concerned or have doubts, and they may seem very relevant and realistic and very logical. However, what you will probably also sense is that there is a frustration, there is something that is keeping you stuck. And so while at one point the limiting belief most likely served you, it no longer does. And that's the time where you then can begin to expand from a space of love and thus dissolve it. I do not ascribe to busting through your blocks or faking it till you make it or any of those notions, because the results and the effects that I see of a love-based mindset from the work that I do, both for myself and for those that I'm fortunate to hold space for, is the result is a satisfaction that is beyond this world, a satisfaction that stems from speaking your truth, from being who you are, and from sharing that openly with the world, whether it be in business or just as you being you in your everyday life. So dissolving your limiting beliefs from within by expanding love and thus dissolving fear is something that we're going to be going through in my healing journey, the 6-week healing journey, Mastery Through Love, that I've created for soul-driven, heart-based entrepreneurs. So if this is something that you would like to work further with and go deeper with and want to do it in a safe and sacred setting, then I invite you to check out Mastery Through Love. You can find the links below, or there's going to be links somewhere where you're seeing this. And also, like I said, if this is something that if you're experiencing a limiting beliefs, and if you're not sure what's going on, sit in reflection, ask your inner guide to guide you. Tell them, open my eyes so that I might see. And then let it go. Eventually you will be shown what's going on, and once you have that consciousness or that awareness, you're then able to take the next step, which is to take the limiting beliefs or belief, look at it, and see what is the light reflection of it, and know that it is through the love that you can shine in that area. And very often that is about acknowledging yourself, being willing to see. It's about embracing yourself, about loving yourself and loving that part of yourself, because it did serve a purpose at one point in time. It's simply not relevant anymore. And like I said, this is what we're going to be diving deep into in my 6-week healing journey called Mastery Through Love. I would love to hear from you. If you have a limiting belief that you are struggling with or can't seem to find heads and tail with, go ahead and post in the comments, or share with me on social media, and I will do my best to support you. Know that I love you and that you are loved by all that is. Take care.